call me what you want, open invitation. I'm a human being infused with creative vibration, utilizing melodies and visual stimulation. Beats and stories get the glory, you get the relation. I get impatient like a doctor racing. Bullets coming from my soul, my body just a casing.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Paralyzed Artist Podcast. My name is Daniel Alvarez, and today I have a very dope fucking guest. It's my very first comedian guest. Give it up for my boy, MJ Bragg.
Bam, bam, bam. Let's go.
What is a real one? Because you went in on me real quick, bro.
Well, Danny, you know, when you see someone and you respect them, you want to give them the proper due. You know what I mean? Some people would be hesitant in that moment. I saw an opportunity to strike a rising star before he reaches the height of his powers. And I took that opportunity. I'm proud of myself.
Bro, I fucking appreciated the shit out of it, bro, because I felt like included. There's been a lot of people, like, I mean, I've been going now for like 4 months.
Yeah.
So I've been around some people. I've even been around a comic that his whole thing was that he was an insult comic. And he didn't fucking go in on me, bro. So I was just like, MJ's a fucking real one, because he fucking out here clapping on me. Yeah, and like we were kind of talking a little bit before, and I was saying, like, that's literally one of the reasons that now when I go up on stage, I try to do like a minute of just trying to like talk about some of the shit that some of the other people said, or some of the things that you know, that I saw, whatever. I kind of try to add like a minute or something to that, just because I saw you. I was like, oh, shit.
Right.
Okay, I could use this.
Well, it's like you don't have to hate on people. You know what I mean? But we do so many of these stupid fucking open mics that it's like it's kind of dumb to just sit there and not make it a personal moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you get tired of it. Like, you can make every night something kind of special because you have an opportunity to riff on something, say something new about someone, or I don't know. But to me, it's so painful to just constantly be trying to work on a joke over and over. So it's like, to add some level of like enthusiasm to the evening, fucking give someone a little jab here and there, you know?
For sure, 100%.
Why the fuck not?
No, yeah, I feel like now that, I mean, obviously I have very little experience with it, but one of the things that I've enjoyed so far is those moments where just random shit happens at that night, because 100%. Most of the time, like, especially when you go consistently to like the same places and people, and like some of the same people are seeing you, like sometimes, like when you've seen a few people a bunch of times, like you're like, okay, I've seen this, so you'll get on your phone and but when you're just fucking when you're just talking about shit that's going on that night, there's like a little magic to that, because it's like only we're seeing that shit.
Only right now.
Only in that moment. So I for sure appreciate those little moments of just like the randomness
absolutely
of the night, you know?
My favorite part of it is too, it's like you can murder. You know, there's 8 people. Everyone's laughing, right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that again.
Yeah.
Like, it was only that one moment where you got to get that one joke off that made everyone, they're like, dude, that was funny as fuck. And then, you know, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it like, dude, the late night shit. Everyone's so beat to shit by the end of the day that if we're not, you know, trying to just fuck with each other or just make it an event or like a fun moment.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see. Just a bunch of people staring at their phone and yawning.
Yeah.
And that is soul sucking.
No, yeah.
So I enjoy doing that shit. Most of the time I'm pretty lit, by the way. I don't come into it just like, oh, look at old sober MJ showing up. He's just gonna roast the fucking shit out of everyone.
Nah, yeah.
Little liquid courage goes a long way.
I've caught one of those when you were on your I'm not drinking times. It was not the same. It's not
as fun. Hey, it wasn't fun for you. It was not fun for me. Don't worry about that. It was terrible.
I mean, you kind of have to like ride like a limit. Like, you don't want to get too lit where you don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
Boy, don't you.
But a little bit of like that looseness, like, because I feel like that's the ultimate. That's where you want to be ultimately, like loose, just like
whatever
just fucking
happens, around.
Yeah, whatever happens.
That energy is infectious, because if you have that, the crowd kind of gets into it as long as you're not. Yeah, when you get all buttoned up and shit, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do these jokes. You got to be free with it. That's what it is. Like everyone who crushes, they're like, they bring you along on this ride, this confidence, you know, that you're like willing to go with them.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some fucking murderers, even just like at the lowest level, but it's all because their energy's like, you're like, I want to follow this guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm going to go on this ride because I'm having a good time.
No, for sure. And then like you're saying, you'll catch those moments too. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm so new at it, but I've had little moments where I'm like, bro, like this shit, I want to do this forever, you know? And then the very next day I'll go up again and it's like crickets, bro.
Just eat a plate of shit.
Just like, fuck, I thought I was good. I guess I'm not. I better fucking keep writing and shit.
It's wild. I mean, even the best fucking fail. That's just what it is. That's never going to go away. The best guys, especially when you're working shit out and you're trying to figure out your voice, and that's what we're all doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's nothing more fun than crushing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting people going. It's the greatest. And one thing I wanted to say was it's been great watching you progress from like right off the get. This is one thing I have to say. Right off the get. Likable as fuck. Like everyone's rooting for you. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I was like, dude, I fucking love this guy. You just came in hot, like just casual as fuck, chill, definitely nervous. You expressed that, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't even know what I'm doing up here.
Yeah,
like, but you kept doing it, and watching you go from like that to now fucking murdering. Dude, you killed at the Friend. That's fucking dope.
Oh yeah, that shit was.
So seeing that shit, man, like, and like then you know learning more about you, learning your story and shit, like, dude, what the fuck? Who wouldn't root for you? You know what I mean?
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
Too many assholes in the business. We need more Dannys. More Dannys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to kind of like when you've almost died a few times, you kind of like just kind of learn to just live in the moment, man. Like don't try to not care what people might say or think. You just kind of like you just gotta go, man. You gotta just stop thinking and just go, you know. So I try to just always bring like a positive attitude towards everything. Like I try to always see like the positive side of things, and I try to bring that with me all the time, you know. So I never like, I mean, like with my injury, there's a lot of shit like my back is always killing me. Like it's always, but like, I mean, I'll bring it up here and there, but for the most part, I'm like, fuck it, you know. Like I'm just, it's hurting anyways. No point in talking about it. I just kind of want to like be positive and be like as fucking fun as I can be. I want to fucking just have the people around me be fun. And then it's weird because a lot of people are like, you're fucking fun for you know, they give me that fucking, I'm like, bro, I'm just me, you know, like, goddamn, like, I kind of, I've have this thought in my head where like I've seen a lot of people go up like on stage and just be almost seem angry like about life, and I'm just like, man, like the way I see it is like I think everybody's had a moment in their life where they're like, fuck, I wish I could just like disappear and be somebody else.
Absolutely.
And when you're on stage, you literally have the opportunity to just be whatever the fuck you want to be. Absolutely. And I don't think a lot of people can like appreciate that or don't.
It's a performance at the end of the day. You can, but see, a lot of people think it's all about just speaking your truth and like unraveling yourself in front of people and laying yourself bare on the stage. It's like, dude, go up there and have fucking fun for the first time in your miserable fucking life. Yeah. I do understand, like some guys, you know, that's their thing. They like have this, you know, kind of like aggressive energy to how they do comedy. That's fine. But you can see in those guys, like when they're having fun doing it, you know what I mean? Yeah. No one has fun bombing. So that you see, you're like, oh shit, we're all about to get shot at. But for the most part, you know, like these dudes, you know, like when you watch someone up there enjoying themselves, you typically enjoy it.
No, for sure.
And like I like what you said, like you can be anyone.
Yeah, like I don't
be anyone.
I don't think people really like they just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna write some stuff and I'm gonna say my jokes, but like I feel like a lot of people aren't taking advantage of, like, you could literally go up there and do whatever the fuck. Like,
Dude, like, look at Danny T.
I fucking love
Danny T goes off. Scalzo, they go off.
I feel like a lot of people even underappreciate Danny just because, like, every time that I've seen him, he's done something totally different.
Absolutely.
And just gone for it, bro.
Yes.
Just like if it, even if it's the most awkward shit you've ever fucking seen in your life, he'll stick with that shit, bro.
I love that, though.
And I fucking appreciate the shit.
There's too many people out there that are just so fixated on set up, punch. Oh, I've got to tell a story, you know, set up, punch, tag, blah, 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 the science of comedy. Dude, watching a guy go up there and just do some wild shit, it's fantastic. And then in there's jokes.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole thing is a joke. It's fucking crazy. I love that.
Well, it's like a performance. I see it as a performance, and like, but like you do have to have some balls, because I've seen him go up there and just fucking cricket when nothing's happening, and I've seen him go out there and just fucking
Rip
kill,
the room.
bro.
Yeah.
I saw him do a bit about football refereeing.
Nice.
Oh my god, I was fucking dying, bro. Yeah,
Danny says he can throw a football 80 yards.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about all that.
bro.
Yeah. He might knock his wig off trying to throw it that far. Him with that fucking wig. But yeah, it's the most. Shit. Yeah, like I was saying, like it really is. It's fun seeing people figure it out while I'm figuring it out. You know what I mean? And like seeing the different avenues and shit. I mean, we're all literally in our infancy.
Yeah.
So like seeing everyone kind of progress and what it's turning into, what works, what doesn't, what you think doesn't work that ends up actually working in the long term. That's just fascinating.
No, yeah, it's definitely cool.
It's a weird thing to want to be good at, though. Like, I want to go up on stage in front of strangers and make them laugh. Like, what the fuck is that?
Hey, man, it's like, though, like, I always say, like, anybody, I don't care if every time you go up, you eat shit. Anybody that's willing to go up on the stage and speak their mind, they have my respect, bro.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like they're already doing something that, like, 80% of the world is not willing to do, if not more.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bomb the shit out of it, but I appreciate you for it, bro. Like, you know?
Hey, we're friends now. Actually, no, me and you are not. There's a couple of them up there. I'm like, please just stop. Never do this again.
Yeah.
If you were out in public, you would be tased immediately for what you're doing in front of people. It's not fair. It's rude.
Yeah, like, it's painful.
Yeah.
Bro, like,
you get the douche chills just watching someone. Just like, oh.
Like, when I try to explain people, like, those experiences, when I'm talking about comedy and stand-up, I'm just like, God, sometimes some people will go up and it's physically painful. Like, you're like, please say anything funny so I could laugh, please. But I feel like you need from, like, the worst comic to, like, the top, because
absolutely
it sounds fucked up, but those bad comics encourage the people that are gonna be good to be like, okay, like,
absolutely.
if this guy's doing it,
yes,
bro, I'm gonna do it.
Keep going. Yeah.
Like, it kind of sounds fucked up to say it in that way, but, like, that's literally why I was willing to go on stage, because I went, like, the Hollywood Comedy was literally, like, the first comedy club I'd ever been to.
Yeah.
I went on a Friday night just to check it out. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna check it out. And then half of the people that went up, people were not laughing. It was just like silence.
Was it it was a mic?
It was open mic.
Okay,
yeah.
word.
I think I caught a little bit of the last part of a 9, and then the 10 to 12.
Gotcha.
And it was like literally half of the people that went up, nobody was laughing. And in my head, I was like, I think I'm funnier than some of these people. Right.
So
I was like, fuck it. The very next Monday, I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm like, I try to write some random shit
just
down.
Something, yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna go. And I fucking went, bro. And shit, that shit, in a way, it kind of like changed my life. Like, I've always been artistic. Like, I mean, a lot. This is a bunch of my work is on I mean, I've done
Shit is
photography.
dope, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like deep down, I'm like, I don't feel like this is what I was meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then like with comedy, I don't know. I've told a few people about this, but like I think it was the second night I went up, might be the third, but it was just like I got maybe laughs half of the time that I was up.
Mm-hmm.
But like after I left and as I was coming back home, like I was so happy that I was almost like emotional, like almost like holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Like I think I found something that I really like.
You're riding the dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was a crazy, because I had never really felt like that about something. I was like, holy shit,
like a performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, Danny. I'm gonna throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
Guessing you weren't a theater kid.
Nope. I was not. I was deaf, bro. I stopped going to high school, bro. I was like,
damn. Okay.
I was like, nah.
I
Like,
should have done. I stopped going, but I was still enrolled, so I was just failing constantly.
no. Well, for me, it was because like I had like a crazy childhood. Like I've moved maybe like 30 times in my life. Like,
Okay.
I was all over the place. So I was like, and then my parents split up, so I was like living with my mom for a while. Then I moved with my dad, and then it was crazy. And then I just overall in the end, I was just like going to high school, and I was just like, God, I feel like I'm not learning
Why the fuck
shit.
am I even here?
Like I'm wasting all I was doing was like trying to pick up girls,
Right.
and then playing sports. But I was like, and I was really good at sports, but most of my energy was just like, I'm trying to get laid, bro.
100%.
So I would like
As it should have been.
I would miss practice. Like so I wasn't even. I was going to. The only reason I was going was for like sports.
Right.
But I wasn't even. I was just like all my energy was going toward like women. So
And the sports was only for bitches. That's all I'm looking for.
That's all. El bicherío, as we would say in Spanish, bro. Anyways, but so I wanted to ask you, like, how did you get into like the comedy scene? Like, how was your?
I mean, so I started doing comedy in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
And I mean, I was fucking around with it. You know, I never went too heavy, but kind of got to know the scene a little bit. Then I got my boy Brandon, shout out B-Bez, got him in, and with my job at the time, I was the assistant professional at this country club. So I was a golf pro. And the way it would work was in the off season, like during the winter, like late fall, winter, I would be able to do comedy every night because I didn't have to work early ever. But then the second the seasons would shift, I'd have to be at work at 6 every morning, which means getting up at like 5:10 or 5:20 and driving my ass to work and shit. So I was like always kind of dicking around, I never really got to do it. Then one day I was just like, but it was fun, actually. The Richmond scene, it was fun. And the great guys in that scene, I never really like was able to like get in, but whatever. Then one day I was like, I just started noticing this trend. I was driving fucking to work. I was every day, the same route, the same way, to work, from work, and the monotony of it all. And it just started to catch up with me. And I was like looking at trees like, man, I could drive into that bitch and this would all go away. It would all go away. And like I just started recognizing this pattern. I was like, dude, I got to make a fucking change or I'm going to do something stupid. So I go home this one day, I remember it. And I'm like talking to my girl, Heather. And I'm like, hey, how would you feel about like moving? And she was like, what do you mean? Because she wanted to get the fuck out of Richmond too. I was like, maybe we go to LA. And she was just like, done, let's go. And I was like, fuck, it was that quick. So then probably from the moment I said it, probably 4 months, it was either New York or LA because I wanted to do stand-up. And can't play golf year-round in New York, not staying on the island, you know what I mean? So, or just in all of New York. So I was like, fuck it, let's just go to LA. Came out here, fucking just started going. Like all these places, I'm hanging out, doing mics, fucking around. Goddamn pandemic hits. Wasn't really giving it my all though, I was like kind of toying with the idea because it felt like it was like I was just gonna like it was. I took it for granted, basically. Like I was like, it's not going anywhere. There's a billion mics all over this bitch. We can do whatever we want. I can take as long as I want. Pandemic hits, everything shuts down. I'm like, fuck, god damn it. And I live right by the THC.
Okay.
So, like, I would drive by this bitch all the time. And I'm like, oh, I wonder when it's going to open up. After the pandemic, after the quarantine, once things were open, went in there, did like a Thursday at 6 or 7, you know what I mean? Whatever I could get on. And just was like, all right, this is it. Yeah, I bombed. Bombed my dick off. You know, because I over the quarantine, I almost said the pantene. Over the quarantine, I wasn't writing jokes anymore, but I got rid of all of my old shit. Anything that I'd ever done before, I just got rid of it. But I wasn't writing jokes because nothing was funny, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny, but it was like everyone's going to have this take, and there's way smarter people that are going to have a better take, and blah, blah, blah. So I just started writing, and like just a bunch of shit, like stream of consciousness stuff, get high, like whatever I think is kind of funny, just a bunch of blurbs. Came back, had that same thing, like, you know, I'm like, I'm about to do a mic in a couple of days, so I just wrote down a couple of ideas, went up there, bombed my dick off, and was like, I am back, baby, let's fucking go.
Bombing champs.
And then I just stayed in that bitch, man. I just that's all I wanted to do. Then we got to run it. I ran into like Noble, Sheem, you,
some of
you
that.
know what I mean? Dom, seeing him up there every night, Colin, all the heads.
Yeah.
And I just, now it's just like, it's all I want to do. It's second nature at this point.
Yeah, 100, bro. I totally fucking understand what you know. Like, it's like I feel the same way. Like, it's only been like 4 months, but I'm already like, I feel like, damn, like there was some shit that was missing from my motherfucking life, you know. Like these
Absolutely.
guys are like you could say the wildest shit. Like, you know, some of the stories that we talk about. I'm like, dude, I fucking like this is what I've been fucking missing. You know, like I'm the type of person that if I'm gonna get into something, I research the fuck out of it.
Okay.
So I had read like about like some of like the big comics right now, like kind of how they started, and it was like the same story, like you're gonna eat shit, like you're gonna eat shit for a long time. You just gotta kind of like keep doing it, and you have to keep getting up there and getting on stage and getting the main thing that most of the comics that have made it, the main thing that they say is like the secret is get up on stage. 100%. Like that's the main
repetition,
thing.
Persistence as well. It's like practice, but kind of like practice with a purpose.
And writing too. Like I feel like that's really like a lot of people are just like, I'm just gonna say what the fuck.
I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, no, the fuck you're not.
Nah, like you like.
Some guys can. There's an exception to every rule.
To every rule for sure. Yeah. Like there's some guys that are just naturally like, you know, like whether it's like throughout their whole life, like their family's always like basically said jokes and shit like that, where it's just like comes naturally to them.
That's like the timing they have in their head. Yeah, everything's a joke.
Just recently really started understanding what timing is. Like I had always heard the phrase and people talking about like, oh, you know, they have good time, and I never really understood 100% what that was. Yeah. Until like, I mean, I'm sure there's like a bunch of different definitions, but what I've understood so far is like, so with timing is like so like say like you say a joke, and then you have to let people laugh at the joke, right, and then like kind of like timing is like, okay, when do I start saying my next joke? Absolutely. When is it the appropriate time? And that's something that I'm still like learning, you know.
Well, I mean, it's like it's another big thing with it is having something funny to say in the first place. Right. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be like, you know what I mean? Ta-dang. And everyone's like, no, I don't know. You didn't say anything. What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here. But yeah, you're right. Like not stepping on yourself. And that's hard. But honestly, the hardest part is coming up with funny ideas. But definitely like sometimes you have to wait a beat, you know, like sit in the silence for a second to make the next thing actually work. Dude, when you're on stage and you're uncomfortable, you're just like, oh my God.
It's like hard to fight that.
Yeah, right? And you just want to get as much shit out as you can so it's not quiet in the room.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is.
Yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people say is like a mistake that a lot of beginners make is like you need to slow down. You tend to rush everything because you're just like, I don't like. So one of the things that, and I think I've said it a few times when I've gone up, is like one of the things that I understand is like I need to get comfortable sometimes in the silence. You gotta, like it's okay to just
I'm
like
really good in the silence. I actually prefer it.
You dig in?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't like that? Here's another one. Yeah, and none of them are good, and I know it.
No, bro, I've seen you fucking kill. Like it's like one of those like we were saying. Like sometimes like
you just catch the wave.
You catch the wave, and you're just like bam,
right.
bam.
The most awkward
bam,
shit though is like, all right, so let's say you got like it's 5 minutes, right? You catch that wave in the first like minute and a half, and then you fucking ride that bitch into about 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and then that last minute and 20, you're just like, well, that was cool. All right, here we go.
You're like, well, I killed the last 3 minutes.
You didn't see what I just did. It was fucking dope.
That bitch.
Yeah. But all of these things, it's figuring it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, let's start on a really high note, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, so who else fucks their cousin? And everyone's like,
what the fuck
are we talking about? And you're like, oh, bro. You know what? That's my bad. That's on me. But then there will be people that are like, see, that's you guys don't fucking get it. Everyone here's a fucking liberal. And you're like, no, dude, it's not fucking funny.
You're just weird, bro. You're just a weirdo.
Who says that?
Nah, yeah, it's like, that's like a bad thing to have as a comic is the thing of not being self-aware. Like not being self-aware in like in multiple ways, because like, dude, I've met like this sounds like I'm talking shit, but I've met some people that are like, I've been doing this for 13 years.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, I've been doing this for 4 months and I feel like we're on the same level, bro. Like you should get out the game, player. Like you should get out the game, like I'm just like I was saying earlier, like you need the people that are kind of like that are at the beginning and they're gonna stay stuck there forever because they're gonna encourage
you to get better.
The people that to But I feel like
bro.
What is that? Do you feel like people are just
it's mental illness is what it is. Truly. That's all it can be. And thank God for what's the new mayor's name going to be? Caruso?
Caruso. Is he
He's pro mental health awareness.
Okay.
But he's also a billionaire who really does not care about any of us. But no, what I'm saying is there's one guy that I think personifies this very well. And he's new, but he's also learn to read the room guy. And actually, once he has read the room, he's like, fuck it. And he's just going to torch he's just going to spray napalm on it, burn the place to the ground. I don't give a fuck. You can bleep his name. Have you seen this fucking guy? Oh my God. He gets down in damn near a 3-point stance and just starts barking at people. It is the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen. Now, on one side of me, the twisted side of me is like, this is fantastic. But then from like I don't even want to call it artist aspect of it, you're like, dude, you're not getting better. You're not really like learning how to do the art. You're just like fucking trying to like shove the fucking round peg into the square hole and say that it's because you're a genius. Do I love watching it? Yeah, I've watched beheadings on the internet before, but does that mean that it's like cool to do? No, dude, fucking actually try. Just try one joke.
I can appreciate it for what it is, I guess, bro. What I understand about is like that it's not comedy. He's like just speaking his mind about shit.
Right. And it is an open mic, so that's fair.
Yeah, so like fair. I give him, he paid his 5 minutes.
That's
paid
true.
his $5.
We have to listen.
And it's like
that's true. That's very true, actually. See, that's the kind of guy you are. You're a good guy.
I try, man.
I look at this fucking guy. I'm like, boo. Boo this man. But you're right, because like I also have been there, and I've been at the THC before, and this lady came in, and I was like, oh shit, she's about to be funny as fuck. She came in, she goes, just wait till I get my money, and she started doing all this like weird fucking Nina Simone, like it was just fucking wild. I was like, what are you doing right now? and they were all Kanye lyrics.
What?
Wait till I get my money right. And I was just like, this is a crazy person. But she was great.
It was entertaining.
It was
sounds
entertaining. It was
man.
fucking entertaining. But I was like, this is, see, and that's me being narrow-minded. I need to be better about that. And thank you for pointing that out, Danny.
Well, it's like you have to be able to separate what the people that are like actually trying to do it, like that are trying to create art for real,
Right?
Or the people that are just kind of like using this shit as therapy, bro, and they're just like, I used to fuck bitches back in my day, but as I've gotten older, I've just gotten angry.
Pussy's gotten dry.
God damn.
None of it works anymore.
God damn.
All the hardness left my dick and went into my hands. I got arthritis now. And this is how I talk about it. I don't work it out with a therapist. I do it in front of strangers. I pay $5. It is way cheaper.
It is way,
but it's way
cheaper
shorter,
than
and you never really get anywhere. It's a very slanted argument. You know what I mean? There's no feedback that's like, well, you know, other than deafening silence that makes you rageful and want to kill everyone around you, which means you got to pay for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're just like,
what
the fuck happened? Asia with after
the goat. Asia's the goat.
Oh, you should like the way that she handles after goes up. She's like, oh, motherfuckers, you better clap before this motherfucker starts shooting, bro. Like, you motherfuckers clap.
And you know what's crazy? Asia is probably every bit as crazy as but you know what she does? Goes to fucking therapy and works that shit out and doesn't have to do that. And she is fucking hilarious. Asia is a beast. She is so fucking funny.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, no, yeah. I was gonna say, if you're gonna compare Asia to, like Asia.
No, not even close. No, there is no comparison.
No, I've seen
other than they're both black women. One of them hasn't confronted that they're a black woman yet. But so we were at the store one night, and Asia was literally in her car across the street, and she was like, oh yeah, I was just doing therapy. I was like, over there. She's like, I'm trying to keep y'all safe, all right? Chill the fuck out. And I was like, all right, that's fair, Asia. Thank you. She's a fucking star, dude. She's funny everywhere.
Yeah, she's funny.
But they can never be equated to one another.
No.
You had mentioned earlier that like near-death experiences made you like more comfortable with or more present, I think. Is that how we say it? Yeah,
I feel like I've gotten like a looseness where I'm like I'm not taking myself so serious,
right?
Like because I come from a culture my parents are from Mexico,
mm-hmm.
like in the Latin community and culture, like there's like this like machismo. There's like you can't show emotions, you can't fucking show your feelings. Right. You gotta always be like,
yeah,
a fucking I'm
the fucking man.
Everyone
knows it. Yeah,
and I feel like for a lot of my life, I was always like, well, I mean, there's a little bit more involved with me is because like for a lot of my life, like I didn't get attention, and the only attention that I did get was when I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was getting my ass whooped and shit, so I got to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna call attention to myself. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. And so I've had to work out of that mentality of being like, you don't express yourself.
Yeah.
So
you found more constructive outlets to express yourself.
Yeah. So
like through art. When did you start doing art?
I mean, I've drawn throughout my childhood, right, on and off. Mm-hmm. And then when I got to like sixth grade, I became really interested in sports. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like dropped the art,
right, and then
started really trying to pursue like I was into basketball and football,
right.
So I tried to like pursue that. And then after I got out of high school, I basically was working, and then I got shot when I was 21. Mm-hmm. So after I got shot, like I had all this time on my hands, and I kind of like, I was like, well, I used to be into art, so right. I kind of like started exploring. I started exploring kind of like trying like drawing again and painting and
right.
So I got into it after my injury just because I had like time on my hands, and
it became like a new sport basically. You fixated. I can see a level of fixation in some of your habits.
Yeah.
Whenever Danny gets into something, he's into it.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna pour myself a little water over here.
You go ahead.
Don't mind me. All right.
Don't get it.
Beautiful.
No, yeah, it's like I do have that for sure. Like and it's I don't know. I feel like it's a good thing because I haven't been afraid to try things.
Right.
Like my thing is like I'll have moments where like I'm doing something and then I'm just like, nah, I'm not into it, and then I'll just kind of like I'll just like
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I'm like,
done with
fuck
that.
This shit. And
Yeah.
then I'll just like, what else can I do?
Definitely.
So that can be a bad thing because like I might, there's a chance that I might have quit some things too early,
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like the path that I'm on right now has led me to where I need to be, and like I feel like with comedy and like this podcast and some of the painting that I'm doing, like, I kind of feel like I'm getting into like almost like a comfortable zone where I'm like, okay, I think these are the things that I feel like I need to pursue. Mm-hmm. So I've been focusing on that.
I definitely feel like I was born very present from very like a few near-death experiences. Mm-hmm. Like my mom would get too close to an abortion clinic and she'd really be thinking about that shit. And I was like, no, bitch, you better keep walking. And so I came out and I was just ready to go. You know what I mean? I was like, everything is good every day. I'm on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Right off the get.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you on that.
No,
as far as art, got nothing. I don't have an artistic bone in my body.
No, art. I mean, we're creating art with the stand-up.
I guess I'm just doing fucking dick jokes and
it's funny
nonsense.
that I was actually having a conversation with Andy Van about comedy and what we were talking about was like, when is it like, first of all, we were saying, when are you just like an open micer? When do you turn into an actual comic? And when does it turn into actual art? Like where is that point where like where do like
I mean, were you into stand up like as a kid?
Not really, not like how traditionally most people will say like, yeah, my like I got introduced to like stand up from my parents.
Right.
Nah, for me it was like I was always into movies.
Mm-hmm.
I was into movies and then I started like looking at specific people, and then I'm like a Jim Carrey, like a Robin Williams. Right. And I was like, holy shit, like these guys do these whole other, like these guys are funny.
Oh my God.
Like that's their thing.
Robin Williams, his fucking special, like the one, I mean, I'm sure he's had multiple, but I remember one when I was probably in middle school. He did this bit about golf and it was fucking out of control. And I was like, I think I want to play golf. Nah, I'm good. And I didn't, but I mean, it literally like changed how I saw a sport that I was like, that is so dumb to do. And then I was like, that sounds fucking hilarious. That sounds like a fun thing to do. Dude, I used to like watch Sinbad when I was a kid.
I watched Sinbad.
I thought Sinbad specials were dope. Sinbad, I watched Bill Cosby. I mean, I thought his specials were fucking fire. No, not even. But, I didn't know like how he liked to mix drinks at the time. I just I thought he had some funny fucking jokes. I was a huge fan of stand-up, like my entire life.
I didn't.
And comedic actors as well.
Yeah. No, me, that's the introduction I got to it. It was like from movies, but I would say I started getting into like stand-up, like actually watching specials. Mm-hmm. And when I was maybe like, I would say like 16, 17.
Oh,
like
Def Comedy Jam?
Yeah. That's
Def Jam Comedy? What am I thinking? Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah,
am I saying it right?
Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah, I'm a little drunk, so.
No, that's where it was. It was literally MTV, like, or they would have like certain specials sometimes.
Fucking fire. Dude, I mean, movies like Friday changed my life.
Yep.
Chris Tucker was a beast. Seeing him like kill as a stand-up and like also, and then parlay that success into like Friday, Rush Hour, The Fifth Element. Yeah. I remember seeing The Fifth Element. I was like, dude, it's fucking Chris Tucker. It's Smokey.
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, like
Smokey.
watching them watching that whole world unfold. Mm-hmm. I was never really like a traditional stand-up fan in the sense that like I didn't really care for, people like Jerry Seinfeld. Not a fan. But I guess traditional also, like, I mean, Louis C.K. when he hit, I was just like, this guy is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But original kings of comedy. But at the same time, you know who used to do fucking you might be a redneck jokes? This fucking guy. Because I have white family. They loved that shit. So I knew those too, you know?
You're hitting the fucking Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, Ron White tater salad. Yeah.
What was
it
the
was
other
always
guy? There's one more guy that's like a big guy. Fucking...
on the blue collar.
Yeah. Like the main
Jeff
Foxworthy.
Foxworthy.
Yeah.
Foxworthy was but his original bit, like, I mean, this is in the early to mid 90s, was he used to do this string of jokes like you might be a redneck.
Yeah. That was like what really launched him.
Right.
Basically.
If a non-traditional wedding for you is your child isn't present, you might be a redneck. You know, like shit like that.
That's what really made him like.
Yeah, but that's my joke, by the way. I came up with that. I literally have been working on that bit, so it doesn't end with the punchline being you might be a redneck, but fuck you, Jeff.
Yeah, and then I was saying before we were on camera, I was saying like you're from
Virginia,
not
West Virginia. Everyone wants to say West Virginia. I'm from East Virginia. And it's not called East Virginia. It's just Virginia. Yeah.
But I was saying, like, you don't give off the Virginia, like, vibe to you. So
I've been working really hard.
Yeah, you have, like,
a non-regional diction.
Like, half a city boy vibe, you know? Like, you're yeah, I wouldn't have guessed.
Well, it's because I'm half black.
Mm-hmm.
So to prove it to everyone, because I grew up around only white people,
mm-hmm.
I had to make sure I didn't sound like a complete fucking Momo like they all do. And I had different interests, you know, like I was into hip hop. Everyone got a guitar. I got turntables. I was into scratching and shit. They all wanted to fucking skateboard, you know, but like have mohawks. It's like, I want to skateboard. I'm going to wear, actually, no, I didn't have a mohawk. Actually, that was a lame now that I think about it. You know, the farther I go back, I got to retract all those statements. It's just a turd. I turned white.
Wait, like when you had your cool moment?
I think my biggest thing that I wanted to do was eliminate sounding like I was a fucking townie from, you know, Virginia.
So you
consciously changed.
Like, yeah.
I wanted, like, I mean, well, I was already fairly well read as a kid because I was grounded all the time. And my grandparents gave me encyclopedias for Christmas. So with that in mind, I was pretty well read as a kid. Encyclopedias.
Nice.
That's literally what I would read. Like, I thought being a biochemical engineer was like the cool thing to do. I was like, dude, I'm going to be fucking killing it with this shit. Also, not a bad job.
No,
really wish I had stuck with that instead of getting high and fucking trying to get at girls. That would have been really cool. The nerd in me should have stuck around a little longer. But non-regional addiction was an important thing because all of my family, not all, most of them, mush mouth R words. Straight up, just bop, 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 bop. You don't know what the fuck they're talking about half the time.
You were like, I'm going to make it out.
No one's going to hold me down. No one.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know what it was in me. I just went full broadcast voice. I was like, this is how I'm going to sound always. I don't give a fuck. This is me. You can go fuck yourself. Yeah. And because, like, I mean, sometimes I'm talking to my dad and I'm just like, oh my God, you are infuriating. Just because he's irreverent, which is hilarious. My dad's probably one of the funniest people I've ever seen in my life. But sometimes, I don't know if I'm laughing with him or just directly at him.
Yeah.
Because he's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, you funny.
As long as he's making you laugh, man, it's working.
At the end of the day, right? And see, that's why
as long as you get that laugh.
When Yodelay-Hee-Hoo figures it out, we're all in trouble.
Yodelay-Hee-Hoo.
Yodelay-Hee-Hoo.
I get up on stage and I do my dance.
I don't know why I sit this low. I do.
That's funny. It's so funny that you said like that you've had a broadcast because you literally have like a strong fucking like radio voice, bro.
Right.
You're so I'm gonna
I've
get
literally,
it.
but once my voice turned at one point, this is just how I sounded. It was more based off of like how I chose to speak.
Yeah.
The words I would use, I wouldn't let myself get too and
Nah, yeah, I come from bro. It's so funny. I come from like like gang members and like for just like uneducation.
Right.
And then like I said, I dropped out of high school, but I never really stopped educating. Like up to this day, I read all the time,
Right.
whether it's like books, articles. Like
and autodidact, self-educated.
I feel like I feel like I've learned more on my own because I'm learning about shit that's actually gonna help me in life, not
And
like
they're
in
your
school,
interests.
you know?
Yeah, they're your interests. That's the biggest. So for me, one of my biggest regrets ever was not going to a 4-year institution. I did community college. I fucked around. Really wish I had liked learning as much as I do now. That shit bums me out because I'm like, dude, I know people with degrees. I know so many people. Everyone's got a fucking degree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they really smarter than me? Or were they just there to kind of fuck around and they were game? You know, you play the game, you get through it, whatever.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've actually, I mean, like what I was gonna say is like it's never too late, bro.
That's true.
Because I've had so I did stop going to school, so just because of that, like just because from my stubbornness, I've had the thought of like now I'm gonna fucking make it without it. But like as I've been talking to like I've had conversation with Dom.
Yeah.
Dom like is college educated.
Yeah.
He has a great job, and it's just like
He's a smart guy. Absolutely.
for sure. And he was mentioning like right now like if you're a California native, like I guess they're like covering like the first 2 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it kind of got that thought in my head of like maybe I should go back to school because I do consider myself a pretty like smart person. And then one of the things that I recently read is like that normally people that do have like 4-year or more college educations, like
Right.
their IQ literally goes up like 9 to 10 points.
Yeah.
So you literally do become smarter.
Well, yeah, you would hope so.
Yeah. So it's like, but it's like, cause it's like, there's a sense of like where you can educate yourself and become smarter, but there's no way of like actually like measuring it. But
Measuring
they've actually,
intelligence. Yeah.
yeah, they've actually done studies on this, and like people that have gone to a 4-year or more, you know, college or had a longer extended education do tend to have raised their IQ. I'm like, yo.
Well,
like,
and you can look in too, and if you're gonna like span it across measurables, it's like it like directly correlates to a higher net wealth over time, and quality of living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, typically these things are like directly correlated to one another.
for sure.
So if that's how you want to measure it, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there is like there's like 150 markers
Mm-hmm.
of that or there's some, I'm not even going to try and use the actual number. There's a number that's equated to how many genetic variables there are that, genetic variables that equate to less average or less than intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You can show these genetic markers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there are none that directly correlate to average or above. So that's weird, right? That's a weird thing.
Weird.
It's like, do the work. But then there are some people that are literally just like, they see something, they know it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
photographic memory, all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
Mostly autism, spelled with 2 W's or a U. Yeah. Right. Autism. That's how my mom said it. She said I was artistic as fuck all the time.
I'm autistic. No, but like
I'm an artist.
One of the things that people might not understand though about IQ too is like even if you do have a high IQ though, if you're not educating yourself, if you're not filling your mind with knowledge, it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like you have to kind of like try to like find the knowledge or kind of like chase like the knowledge. So
Absolutely. And they don't teach critical thinking in school.
Nah.
They teach you how to be a good bitch.
They teach you how to be a factory worker.
Yeah.
You know,
You're a good bitch.
Because that's what when they came up with like the schooling they were like, what's the best way we could guide? And like, well, right now we need factory workers.
Right.
We need people that will be down to stay at and do a certain thing for a certain amount of hours. So like that's basically like.
And like, so let's give them the 8-hour school day, so they're plenty prepared for the 8-hour work day. Mm-hmm. And then they just show up. You know, you go from period 1 to period 2, blah blah blah. However you schedule it, you're just going to the factory. Literally, going onto the line, and then guess what? You get 30 minutes for lunch, and you better get your ass out. I don't care about bathroom breaks, bitch. You better ask. Yeah, that shit is wild. You should have
gone before.
What? Henry Ford, right? Ford. He's responsible for this.
Fucking Henry Ford. Hey, I mean, he did his thing though. You gotta give him his props. He built his
like
company.
A rock. Am I right? Like a fucking rock.
Isn't that GMC?
No, it's Ford, isn't it?
Ford.
Oh, like a rock.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Down, down. I have a BF Goodrich hat on.
Yeah. Oh, what's your? Oh, you have the Dale
Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt.
Number 3 on the track, number 1 in our hearts.
I kind of learned about Dale Earnhardt when he fucking made that right turn, bro.
It's a joke I've been talking about, but it's like people want to say NASCAR's super conservative. They turn left, by the way.
All the time.
And then the one guy that decided to make a right turn because he just couldn't take it anymore, he paid the price for free thinking. All right? Dale, yeah, baby. Dale, yeah.
Dale, yeah.
Let's get it. Let's go. He's the man.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Dale Earnhardt when I was a kid.
Yeah, I
had a white stepdad who made me love Dale when I was a kid. I need to.
He was legit into NASCAR.
Let's back that up. Yeah. Oh, dude, I went to so many NASCAR races.
Really? Like actually,
we got a track in Richmond. RIR, baby.
Oh yeah.
Richmond International.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get it.
That's funny. My dad was into baseball. So if anything, it was like Dodgers.
Right.
Yeah, that's what.
So you actually had sports teams though.
Oh yeah.
Richmond has nothing.
They have like college or something.
Yeah, there's a couple teams, but even when I was growing up, they were trash. VCU, U of R. What the fuck are they doing? Nothing. Yeah, they didn't do dick. Our closest team was the Washington Redskins. Very problematic.
And what time? You were like when, like in high school. When were you in?
I graduated in 05.
05.
Yeah.
Well, actually, most people when did you actually did you get into sports at a certain time, or like were you did you?
As a kid, I mean, sports? I was probably I played football, baseball, soccer.
Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, I actually follow teams.
Oh, oh fuck! I mean, I didn't even get into sports until I was probably. I played sports, but I wasn't really into it until probably high school. I mean, I when I was little, I was I was privy to it. You know what I was into? Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Wrestling, yeah. WWE.
Dude, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh hell yeah.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. What are you gonna do about it? He's crushing a fucking PBR, no, Budweiser over his head. Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
What you gonna do with it?
Dude, he would just my favorite, he'd crush a beer, fucking stomp a lady in the stomach. And then crush a beer over her head and go, oh hell yeah! Give her the Stone Cold Stunner. There were no fucking filters at that point. And everyone in the crowd's like, yeah.
Yeah, there was a year or two, and I was really into wrestling.
Oh, those were the glory days,
yeah.
Dude.
I mean, I still got Hulk Hogan. I got fucking Bret Hart. I was I'm an 80s baby, 86.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm 87. I'm 87. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got the...
Dude, fucking... There were some days.
I think we got the greatest fucking... we're the greatest time to be alive, 80s. Because
hands down.
We've lived life pre-internet. We got the internet.
But we had seamless transition into the internet. We got
that
to
shit
see...
was, bro,
we got to see... Oh, no, that was terrible.
That shit was not seamless.
That
shit, I'm trying to watch some porn at 2 a.m., but my parents are going to find out when I log on the internet,
and you're like,
bro.
You know what? I wonder if I can put a blanket over the printer and make it a little bit more quiet. I'm going to take these pictures up to my room.
Bro, I got caught once, bro. Bro, one time, I was fucking, I was printing a fucking, I was printing a Carmen Electra nude.
Of course you were.
And then
who wasn't?
My boys knocked on my door, and I was like, "Fuck!" So I went and opened the door. I was like, "Hold up!" I was like, "All right, come in." And I was like, "Hold up, bro!" Like, cause I was like, "Those, you know, I didn't want to get caught up or whatever."
No one does.
I was like, "Hold up!" But these motherfuckers like went to like the door. They were like where the side of the door. Fuck, I left the door a little open. I was like, "Stay right here." And they went to the side of the door where they could see in. And then they were like, "Bro, we saw you printing them titties. Let me get a copy, motherfucker."
We need 2 copies in color, bitch. I don't care how you get them. Like, no, but the cartridge,
shit.
the magenta's low. I can't really even do it like that.
My pops is gonna know I've been printing these titties.
Takes 4.5 hours to download and 7.5 hours to
shit.
print. Dude, Kazaa. Right? Was it Kazaa?
Oh my god, that's the fucking. I remember. It's like I remember the logo. It's like a green logo.
Yeah. And you're just waiting 4.5 days.
For that shit to download.
See, Heather I Deep Throat. Do what she does best. And you're like, all right, here we go. But it was cool. We literally saw every iteration of the internet. Like, I mean, we saw the literal dial-up.
All that shit. Yeah.
You've got mail.
No,
We saw that shit, and now we know this. And all these kids are like, you know shit, boomer. And you're like, bro.
You don't know what the fuck
Yeah,
it is.
I feel bad for them because it's only going to get weirder.
No, yeah, for sure. Like we still don't know the effects of like the iPad kids when they're full adults. Like we still don't know what the fuck.
I'll tell you what we know what's going to happen. They're going to be wearing headphones everywhere they go. Like literally, but there's not going to be a plug into them or anything. That's just like the old school, like noise canceling, like the shit you'd wear at a race car event, but there's nothing going in. It's just noise muffling.
No, but what I'm talking about is like the type of people that they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like
They're going to be monsters. They're going to be crazy people. It's going to be wild.
Before I have like this has nothing to do with none of the, but I was just saying like I recently really have been getting into like F1. Are you?
Ooh.
Do you fuck with?
Yeah. Those are the fast cars.
Yeah.
Real low to the ground, real fast.
Yeah. So I was just seeing that they're gonna have a race in Las Vegas next year.
Hey.
They're gonna have a night race, and what got me into it was like that Drive to Survive. Have you seen that on Netflix?
I have not.
Oh, bro, you need to watch this shit.
Drive to Survive?
Drive to Survive. It's like
What's it about?
F1. It's like they follow like the drivers and through the season and shit. One of the things that I don't like about it is like they add all this extra not real drama.
Well, yeah.
Because
you
they
gotta
kinda have to
progress
because
the
of the show.
storyline. Yeah.
But overall, like bro, like it has 3 seasons now, or 4 seasons actually. But that shit introduced like I don't know how, like over 100 million new people to F1 since it came out. We're like
damn.
and it's mainly been like U.S. because the U.S. wasn't really like a heavy.
Well, no, because we've got backwoods, fancy white rich racing, but that is like some European, super rich white racing.
It's like politics.
Well, because like
some of the
NASCAR
politics
started
shit
with moonshiners.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So like that shit started with like, they were having peasants pull the carriage just for funsies. And then they're like, all right, I guess we'll use horses now. And then they're like, all right, like that's some uber elite shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the cream. Like, think about the sponsors for it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so funny that there's like all these sponsors now, but like the history of it is like it goes back to like we were just trying to get away from the police. What you mean? Like,
well, NASCAR is straight up moonshining. You can see how dumb it is.
Yeah.
But F1 is like, that is the uber elite putting money in to just like proving whose dick's bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things that I didn't. That's one of the complaints that I kind of had about it. Was just kind of like, it kind of sucks that like it's always like the top 3 teams with the most money that are like winning the races.
What is it, like Mercedes, Ferrari,
Red Bull?
Yeah.
And
I don't even know the companies.
It's literally those three.
Yeah.
It's Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari that are kind of like the main. But yeah, it's
but
like,
also they kind of fuck. I mean, if I'm thinking about like what kind of cars do I want to drive, I kind of want to drive a Mercedes.
yeah, for sure.
Definitely want to drive a Ferrari.
Or a fucking.
And then when I'm drinking, probably need a Red Bull. I'm doing all of those things at the same time all the time.
They're fucking. No, but it's like funny how I feel like it's really underrated. Like F1 has been really underrated in the United States. Like you were saying, it's like a European
100%. All those fancy boys over there with their little low cars.
Yeah. No, but it's crazy, man. Like I really enjoy. Like if you should check it out.
You just need one redneck to be beast at. But you know what? They're too fucking stupid to do anything other than make a left turn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I only know how to turn one way.
I've been going one way my whole life.
I refuse to go both ways. That's gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just turn. It's like normal driving, but really fast. And they're like, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I like to go fast. I like to go left.
Nah, I always say every sport, whatever it is, it has its place. Like as long as you learn the rules, and like it's gonna be entertaining. So
F1's way cooler.
It's been. Like there's some people that will have the argument of like at least NASCAR is like a little bit more close. The cars are kind of a little bit more.
They're packed in there, and like it's that much harder to get by. And when you do finally get on the inside track, blah blah blah. Well, who gives a fuck? They're literally just turning left the whole time, and the only thing people are looking for, because they're so packed in, it's kind of like the basketball versus what am I looking for? Like, what's a low scoring game? Like soccer,
baseball too,
football, baseball. Right, baseball only got really cool when everyone was just hitting home runs all the time. Mm-hmm. That's when it was at its highest. People love offense and they love spectacle. So that's why NASCAR, it's like, bunch them up together. Someone's gonna die. Yeah, that's cool. F1. You can there's a little bit more nuance to it. There's a little bit more artistry. Here we go. Bang, bang, bang. You're turning right. You're turning left. People die.
For sure.
100% people die.
Yeah, it's,
but that's not what people are looking for.
I would argue that's ultimately, that's what you're waiting for with any race. It's like you're waiting to catch that one disaster that you're going to be like, holy fucking shit.
That's why I watched the LA Marathon. I can't wait for someone to die. Yeah, someone's going to get hit by a fucking bird scooter. It's going to be fantastic.
A bird scooter? What happened? A fucking bird.
You're not supposed to be on the sidewalk, you piece of shit.
And now birds will fuck you up, bro.
Oh,
a bird will fuck you up.
A 200-pound man on a bird scooter going 16 miles an hour will fuck a marathon runner up real quick. Are we kidding?
They fucking
there's nothing left of the marathon runner other than his pee-stained shorts. Yeah, there's nothing left.
His piece.
Yeah. Come on. What are we talking about?
No, it's like a fucking bird will.
I'm tripping out that this is the closest I'm ever going to get to Kendrick watching me perform. It's a sad moment of my life.
You got to think positive, bro. You never know. You got to imagine yourself in fucking crypto.com arena fucking murdering. You got to fucking...
That's true. The crypto.com.
Gotta visualize it, bro.
That's true. I guess.
That's a whole fucking...
That's trippy as fuck.
Money, man. At the end of the day,
Follow the dollar. Follow the dollar.
Money will always fucking talk. Bro, I haven't talked about it. We're comedians, I guess. Like, what? Yeah, art.
Like, I like the air quotes.
When that's the argument. When are we not like open micers, and when are you a comedian?
Technically,
once you have a show, once you get paid.
Once you get paid, once you're getting paid, once you're making money doing comedy, you're above it. I mean, that's the difference between. I mean, like even in golf, the difference between an amateur and a professional, just making money. Being able to accept cash is literally the defining moment that changes you.
When you make your first and
no, because like you can play like let's say a kid's playing in college, right? Or he's like the #1 amateur in the world. He wins the U.S. Amateur. He gets an invitation to the Masters, which is coming up. He goes in as an amateur. he wins the tournament. It's never going to happen, but he wins the tournament. He's not allowed to accept the winning paycheck because he's an amateur. But if he declares himself a professional before, he stands to win like 1.58 million or 1.76 million, whatever it is, whatever the breakdown is. He wins that. But then he's no longer an amateur, so he can no longer play in amateur events. He is forevermore a professional.
Yeah, he has to go with the pros. That's crazy.
So that's a little bit more intense because, you know, you can be a top tier comic and end up at the Comedy Chateau, Kevin Hart. And that's just what you do, though. That's the name of the beast. That is, or not the name, but the nature of the beast, rather. That's cool. But yeah, I really do think, I mean, once you make a living doing comedy, you're a comic. Like you're no longer an open micer. That's what it is. You have to be able to make ends meet, slinging jokes.
Yeah, for sure.
That's wild. And then to the next point, being an artist, it's when you've done that so long, or not even so long, but to the point where now you like change, not the world, but like you can like you're not even just like, people don't recognize you as just a comedian. They're like, holy fuck, like you stand out amongst the people who also make a living.
Yeah.
When you're bigger than them.
Yeah.
When you're like not even just like making more money than them, but you're like, they're looking up to you. They're like, holy fuck, this guy is a beast.
Yeah. Like
And what is that?
When your word kind of carries like real weight.
Right. You change the lexicon. Yeah. Like people.
But I feel like
there's like certain iconic bits that you can remember through time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's interesting, actually. So what you, like, let's say you do a bit that is like, like this, like, does that legitimize you? Like say you're not considered like a legit comic and you just do a bit that is so fucking funny that it's kind of like undeniable. Like,
yeah,
you feel like that?
As long as enough people see it, that's when you're an artist. Because how many prolific artists do you know? Like guys that you're like, dude, this guy's fucking incredible. No one's ever heard of him.
Yeah.
But the second you have that one piece that goes up that everyone recognizes, you're an artist now. Like that's being an artist. You can be great at something. You can have all your boys like, he is the GOAT. But until the world recognizes it, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the Mona Lisa is only the Mona Lisa because people recognized it was fucking art.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's being an artist.
Well, it's like, I guess I have like a weird perspective on it because like when you say art and then what the way that I've approached it in my life so far has mainly been through painting. And
right.
So it's like, for me, like when it comes to painting, like what makes you an artist when it comes to painting is like if you do something that makes people think about something, like where it's like you make people think about or you make people think about a specific point when it comes to art. So it's like, to me, it's like
no.
When you're making people, like if you're doing jokes that making people think.
I guess it's different in comedy in just like, I don't know. I think you're right too. No, you're also right too.
Like if you, but
here, wait. I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Hindu.
Pause that shit.
Commercial break.
Your boy is red as fuck. Burning up.
That fucking. Well, it is kind of warm and shit.
It's a little hot.
Yeah. Getting back into it. So before we close this shit out, we have to talk about. Or I haven't really talked about it with anybody. We gotta talk about the motherfucking slap, bro. What's your fucking views on the motherfucking slap?
I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like my views are not controversial, but contrary to how most people feel about it. I feel like it's weird that Will Smith got to sit down and accept his award without security being like, "Excuse me, sir, you're gonna need to get the fuck out of here."
I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Like if it had been almost anybody else. Literally.
Here's another fun thought. Imagine if it had been like Bradley Cooper who came up and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. He would have gotten his ass beat 8 times before he even got off the stage.
You think so? But by who though?
Every black actor in fucking that room.
You know what? I had actually never thought about it. And
Yeah.
like if you had switched it with any others.
If it was Ricky Gervais that was doing the fucking announcing, and then fucking Will slapped the shit out of him, the whole room would have erupted.
You think so?
Fuck yeah! Into a frenzy. Actually, they might have killed him. The world is in such a weird race frenzy right now. Yeah. But the thing that's fucked up, black produced, black directed event to celebrate black excellence in Hollywood. And you let Will Smith's white ass come up there and just slap the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yeah, that shit was fucking wild. So
and then sit in the crowd and be like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Not even, and then still
security
accept the
never
fucking award.
Tapped him on the shoulder.
Supposedly they said that they did ask him to leave, and he was like, "Fuck all that, bro. I'm not leaving."
You don't ask the crazy irate crowd member to leave. You kick him the fuck out.
That shit was fucking wild. So, like,
can you think about the size of some of the security guards that were on that detail? Will Smith looks smaller than Chris Rock did next to Will Smith to these guys.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen some of those fucking 7-foot fucking... You ain't going nowhere.
God damn. And what is Chris doing with no security detail?
Nah, but that shit was... Bro, nobody was fucking expecting that shit, bro. Like,
that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It was wild. Like, it was like, God damn, Will Smith, what the fuck is...
Dude, he
slapped the shit out of...
It was amazing. Now, this is the other side of it. It was amazing.
Entertainment.
100%.
Entertainment fucking gold. Are you kidding me?
100%. Hilarious.
Like, there's this whole fucking argument that it was all fucking staged, you know? That it was just literally...
There's no way in hell.
No, there's no... Like, you could see it in Chris Rock's reaction.
Oh,
where he's just like...
He had tears in his eyes.
What the fuck? Like,
he just got 6'3", 215 slapped in the face in front of his kids.
It's not even a size thing. It's just like... Just the view of it. Just... In general, getting your ass slapped in general, the disrespect.
It was a big slap.
That comes with that shit.
It's funny when you see it in real time and then you see it in slow motion, how far his head moves off of that initial point.
Impact. Woo! Well, it's because that's another way that you can tell that it wasn't staged, is because like he wasn't expecting that shit whatsoever.
No. You can hear like the grunt, like the
yeah. And
then his head literally moves, like if there's a center line here, his head moves like down here and he comes back up. Usually like when someone taller than you, they're going to strike down, right? So that would make initial impact, like everything would move down. If you were doing like a stage slap, he would have like moved on like kind of like a horizontal axis versus like a downward movement. I'm terrible at talking right now.
No, I get it. Is it like to lessen the fucking actual...
Right. But no, he slapped the shit out of him. And it was like, you can see his like, Will's chest, like he pulls this hand in so he can like...
No, that was like 2 fucking years of holding some shit in and like just
He was slapping all the dudes that have been fucking Jada.
Every comic, fucking comment in his fucking...
Every dude that's fucked his wife... He was slapping the shit out of all of them at once. He was like, oh!
And one of our goats had to take the brunt of that motherfucking.
It's really sad.
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, I saw Big Willie style at a country club once. It was right after the relationship or the engagement thing. You know what I'm saying? When Jada came out,
the entanglement.
Entanglement. That's the word. And he was all smiles. He was hanging out with his boys. He was. I mean, ear to ear, grinning, smiling, laughing like a waspy white person. And all that rage that he was bottling up with those smiles.
That he thought he didn't have.
Bro, he gave it to Chris Rock, of all people.
That's fucked up, though.
I love that one meme. It was like, if that had been Dave Chappelle, he'd be 3 hours into all of his Jada material right now.
Bro.
Because I feel like Chris was about to do it.
I feel like there was a moment...
And then he was like, you know what? Nah, I got to keep that.
Yeah. But at the same, nah, I
I
feel
had to
like
keep that contract going
he handled that shit like
like a G.
a G. Cause
Yeah.
most people, you like, bro, like
Oh, I'm calling the police. I would call the police on stage.
that's like when you really break it down, like to like a
But I'm a little bitch.
scientific, physical, like, bro, that's some traumatic ass.
If you not set aside the physical aspect of it, the mental side of it, like
That's what I'm
recognizing that you just got slapped the
What
fuck
the-
out of
the fucking
by the world,
bro.
and like if you just in the moment recognize that everyone in this room is somebody kind of like the most
Pretty
powerful
much.
who's of your industry just watch you get slapped, your wife, your kids, all of your peers, and then you're like, oh wait, there are more cameras here than any other place on the planet, and millions, hundreds of millions of people just watch me get slapped the fuck out of.
In 4K, my boy, in motherfucking 4K, where you can almost see. God
You
damn,
can see
that's
his pores.
No, that's it's fucked.
That's
it's fucked
traumatizing.
up, man. Like it's I mean, he's gonna make money from that shit, like his fucking shows. But at the end of the day, like if that shit was real, and like,
No one
and then
gets
like
away
if
with that.
if you know a little bit about Chris Rock, like you know that he comes from like bullying and
Yeah,
getting like
absolutely.
that must have awakened all that. Like that shit probably
Well,
took him right back to high school.
What I would
quick.
hope is it's gonna make him funny again, because Tambourine was trash. It really wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Nah, yeah.
Just like Chappelle's specials haven't been that fire lately. I
Well,
mean,
it's 'cause, like-
he's got moments of just like, I'm dying,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then there's a lot of downtime.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping Chris Rock's about to have a resurgence that's going to be like,
for sure, bro.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
bro,
Like if Eddie Murphy had addressed the trans prostitute thing, he would have been the fun. Like he would have made Ron Delirious. People are like, who? What are you even talking about? Those don't even matter.
yeah.
Can you imagine if Eddie Murphy addressed that shit? It would be insane. Instead of doing Pluto Nash like an idiot,
But he understands that he's so far removed from the
he's
stand,
the
like
goat.
what he's doing. Yeah,
he's a good
it's like-
dude. He did, what was it? Was Delirious?
with the red leather,
red, yeah, yeah.
and the cut off glove.
What the fuck, man?
Killed, bro. Like,
He was 21.
nah. Well, that's one thing you have to understand about it. He was like a fucking like a
Prodigy.
phenom, bro. Like
Yeah,
a prodigy,
the prodigy.
100%,
Yeah.
bro. Like, you're like. There's very few people that like at that age are
There's one.
murder.
There's
Well,
literally one
murdering at that fucking
on that level
yeah.
at that age. There's one. Who else did it?
There's only one person that comes to mind that was
Who's that?
started young, and Dave Chappelle. Like I feel like
But at 21, he didn't do Raw.
no, yeah.
He was like,
actually it took him a
his
little
best
longer.
special is definitely Killing Him Softly.
Yeah. I love killing them softly, bro.
It's-
Hey baby.
It's a masterpiece. It's a fucking Live at the Fillmore is great. His comedy, his HBO, he's got an HBO comedy special, like a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking phenomenal. But Killing Him Softly is a masterpiece.
Yeah. For sure. But I feel like that what happens with most it's like, fuck. It's because you only have so much material that's actually like killer
Well,
material.
I mean,
You have to be like
Dave started when he was 16 too.
Yeah.
Or if like 15, his mom was driving him to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie just had some different shit. Eddie's just weird.
Nah, yeah. He had like this magic.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
And it was the perfect time for him to be doing it.
It's funny that we're
He had
talking
grown
about
man energy though at 21.
He had a
Especially
like a
stage
maturity
presence.
or like like he had a different understanding on like.
He was talking
you
shit
know-
on a different level. Like he
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like that confidence. Yeah.
Well, he had like because the other thing you have to like people might not understand is like this shit was like before the internet. So like, bro, like now.
Oh yeah.
Now, like you can educate yourself so much on the internet. Like
Very
he
true.
did this shit
With nothing.
before, bro. When
Yeah.
they, you know,
Yeah,
like
with nothing. But he was also like on SNL. He's a fucking he's the beast.
no,
The
no,
beast
yeah,
of the
so
East.
He's at like.
He's an anomaly. Eddie's an anomaly.
He's actually one of the reasons that like the Nutty Professor was one of the movies like
Bro.
Dave
come on.
Chappelle when he
Come
does
on.
a bit when they're in the club, bro. Like
loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do. Reggie. Thank you. Good night. Yeah. It was fucking amazing.
Fucking yeah. So we've been fucking chopping it up for a minute. Before we bounce, I wanted to say like you're hosting
The Friend Mic
a event every month. It's once a month
at the Friend Bar in Silver Lake. Literally on Instagram at the Friend Bar.
Check it out.
And I guess for the show, it's at the Funny Friend once a month. Yeah, just check it out.
I will throw that on the screen so you guys can check it out. Definitely check it out if you're in the LA area. And anything else you want to plug in? You want to shoot your Instagram or
at MJ Bragg 1200 on all social media. I don't really post on anything other than Instagram, so don't even fuck with it. Yeah, thank you.
For sure.
Danny,
like before
thank
we
you.
anything else you want to drop before we get off? It's been
I've got, let's see.
I'll probably post this maybe Monday. So
we got a show. Let me look at this because I'm terrible with dates. We're going to bring that up. We're going to bring that down. We're going to bring this up. We're going to bring that down. We've got the 15th. Oh, this is a good one. The 15th of April. Nobleman and the Funny Knights. The worst name in comedy for the worst comic in comedy. Josh Noble. He's hosting. It's going to be fantastic. Josh, I love you, but do better, babe. Do better.
The flyer will be on the screen for you guys, so you guys can check that out.
That's actually a killer lineup. And then the 29th, I'm going to show at the THC as well, the Hollywood Comedy Murderers. And I actually don't want to go up on that one because everyone's always funnier than me, but this one's it's very serial.
No, yeah.
And then I think I'm doing the Improv on the 22nd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. First time at the Improv.
Hey,
Let's go.
fucking MJ doing big things. Well, no, it
Let's
was a
go.
fucking pleasure having you on.
Bro.
Appreciate you coming out and
Thanks,
fucking,
homie.
like, being a real one. Like I don't think
appreciate you.
Don't think I haven't noticed that. Like a lot of the times that I've gotten up and you've been in the crowd, like you've been one of like the loudest fucking cheers when I'm up and getting out. So I fucking
It's because
appreciate
you
it.
fucking killed.
You're a real one. Like 100%. Looking forward to you fucking doing your thing and fucking killing it and seeing the journey as we get along.
I'm enjoying the progression, watching you. You're doing great.
Appreciate it,
You're
bro.
a fucking beast.
That really means
For
a
real.
lot, you
Yeah,
understand?
absolutely.
But again, thank you for coming out. It's been a pleasure. We fucking out.
Deuces.
Pacing in my studio, just coming up with dapper bars to spit in crucial situations when I play the rapper's part. Heard I got a denim heart and lyricism in my jeans. Cut a track down, leave it bald head like Mr. Clean. Spit it mean, a record fiend. I school you niggas, call me Dean. I'm always specious, never seen. Stay on the chase for minty green. It's logo how these niggas say they ballin', but they broke though.